Hello again, this is Mark Summers from Summers Technical Services, back for video 3 of 3 on our RF load tray assembly. So we've learned how to make all the parts. In the previous set of videos, we learned how to do the assembly model, learned how to do the exploded view, and now we're going to make a quick drawing which will pretty much make itself of our assembly drawing. We've done all the hard work already. So let's go toggle over and look at our assembly model. And there it is assembled in the feature manager, and clicking on the configuration manager and activating the exploded view I made earlier. There's our exploded view. So now we need to create a new drawing. And as our rule stated for deciding which size drawing sheet to use, we want to use a drawing sheet that will allow us to create the views at a 1-to-1 scale if possible. And so I think we can do that. File, new, we're going to choose the D size. B size would not be big enough to put this assembly on in a 1-to-1 scale. I think it fits on a D size. Let's go see how it looks. So we'll select the D size template, file, new. It'll pull up our template, and it's looking for a model, and I've already got it open, so there it is. And so now all I need to do is place that on the screen, and I want an ISO view. And so I select right here, there's my ISO view, and boom, place the view on the sheet. And let's see how SolidWorks, what they've guessed we want. And it looks like I'll approve this. And it's not my exploded view yet. We'll fix that in a minute. View is way too small. Let's go see what size it decided we wanted. It guessed we wanted a 1-to-4 scale, and that's not what we want. So we're going to leave it at sheet scale, but we're going to change the sheet scale by right-clicking on Sheet Format 1 and go to Properties, and we're going to change this to a 1-to-1 scale. Apply changes. Never check these. Leave those off. And now that looks really nice, except I want an exploded view. So how do I do that? Well, let's just go ask for it. When I go back and edit the view, there's a checkbox here that says show an exploded state, and I can choose, if I've got multiple exploded views, I can choose different exploded views. And so that's how I turn on the exploded view. That fits on there beautifully. And so I'm going to scoot this over just a little bit maybe, to give me room for my bill of materials. And so there's that. So that was easy peasy. All right, now let's do a bill of materials. Well, annotation, where is it? Tables, here it is. Bill of materials. So tables, bill of materials is going to ask us a question. What view do we want to use to make the bill of materials? Well, it's just one view here. And then it says, where do you want to place the bill of materials? Or I'll have to approve all these. These are tons of options, and we're not going to go over these. But you can do all kinds of different options for different types of bills of material, how it keeps track of them, what the item numbers are, what the formats are. We're just going to leave all this as default and approve it. And then the last thing it's going to say is, where do you want it? And I'm going to say, I think I'd like to have it in this corner down here. And that's it. It even snaps in there nicely. See how I made my template? See how it snaps into the corner? Boom. That's it. The thing is ready to roll. How did it know item number 1, 2, and 3? Well, it just took the first part, second part, third part, put them in order, it put all the quantities in. It already knows the quantities. Part numbers come from the file names. That's why I make such a big deal about putting those file names correctly when you save your files, your part models, because that's exactly what it uses in this column. That's the way I've set this template up. These descriptions all come from the individual part models, and if you put these descriptions in your part model, they will already be there. And the only thing you'll have to do, I think I've still got a problem, the font is not correct. And so if you select that top right corner and hit this button right here, it says use document font, turn that off, and we want SolidWorks Roman D font. SW Roman D right there. And now that will make it look beautiful, like all the other font on the other fonts on the title block. And so this thing doesn't fit anymore, so I want to go like this. And this column here, this part number column is kind of wrapping around weird. So this is just like Excel. I want to make it wider, I just drag it over. That looks much better. And maybe I want to move this over a little bit. Whoops, what happened? Move this over this way a little bit. Maybe make this column a little wider. Where'd my mouse go? Drag this over, make it a little wider. Go, go, go. What happened? There it goes. That looks much better. And maybe I want the quantity column over here on this side. I can drag it over, I think. Kind of lagging here. What's going on? Should be able to drag that over if I want. There it goes. And I can do the same thing up and down. These are out of order here. I don't like that, so I can grab this guy, drag him down to here. Oops, went too low. Gotta drag him up. So I got one. What's going on here? I gotta drag him up to 1. 1, 3, 5, 7. There's 9. So I can order these things however I want. And that's it. Now what? Now we've got to do balloons. So we're going to again be under annotation. We're going to come up here and find balloons. We can do auto balloons. Let's do one at a time balloons. So you click the balloon button and it's just couldn't be easier. I'll start with item 1. I'll click and I'll click. And then I'll do it again. Here, this item, there's 2 of them, and so when I click here, I want quantities on there. And so I just come down here on the tree or on the properties box. I turn on quantity. Whoops, I got to get out of this thing first, I guess. I should have done this before I located it. I want to select the balloon. I want to add quantity, so I just hit that checkbox. And it's going to add the quantity. I want it on the other side. That doesn't look right. So I just click down here and put it on the other side, and it keeps track of those quantities. If you go into your assembly model and you add a standoff, the same part number, it'll update that quantity on the balloon, and it'll update the quantity in the bill of materials as well. So that's it. Sheet 1's done. You need to fill out the title block as usual. Let's go to sheet 2. Let's do a quick, let's do 3 views so we can get overall dimensions on here. So we'll just go back to view layout, model view. Maybe I'll start, and this is going to be the same assembly. And maybe I'll start with the front view. And it's guessing I want some smaller scale view, which I don't like. So I will select the I won't select the view. I'll come down here and look and see what it says. It says scale 1 of 1. What's up with that? So I need to come over here and change, right click, edit, no, right click properties on sheet 2. Change the view scale to 1 to 1 like we did on sheet 1. Now it's 1 to 1. And now I can add my top view and a side view. Once you get those 3 views in there, you will just put 3 overall dimensions on there, just so that the assembly team will know how big this thing is. And so there is no dimensions on the assembly model, so these are going to have to be dumb dimensions. So I'll go to annotation, smart dimension, and I'll grab this edge maybe and this edge, and then place that dimension, and maybe I'll make it a 2-place dimension over here. And I want it to be a reference dimension because they don't need that dimension to build it, but it's just FYI. And so I'll just click the button here that'll change it to a reference dimension. So you'll do the other 2 views and add a height and a width dimension. And that's it. Drawing makes itself. And so all that hard work we did on the assembly model and the exploded view makes the drawing make itself. So that will complete the 3-part series for our Assignment 6 RF load tray assignment. And hope you enjoyed it. And now we'll move on to the next assignment.